Time now for our Life and Info segment, where we focus on information that we really hope is useful for your day-to-day life. Today, we're going to focus on food, which I'm sure we can all agree is something we all enjoy talking about and particularly eating, of course. For that, we have our Kim Dami in the studio with us. So, Dami, I'm guessing we're talking about Korean food today. So what do you have for us?
Right. Mark, I would love to talk about all the different kinds of food that exist potentially on this earth, but today I'll be focusing on Korean street food.
Okay.
So food, apparently including South Korean street food, is what entices foreigners to South Korea and potentially brings them back.
Right, well that's very interesting because a lot of the time we hear that foreigners like to come here for the shopping, which is great of course, but there's this trend more and more with overseas visitors wanting to try all the different food options there are here as well. Right,
so shopping was actually the most enjoyed, satisfying activity to do among foreigners in South Korea up until 2017. But starting last year, 2018, the so-called foodie tours topped the chart. And actually, foreign tourist interest in these foodie tours has been gradually increasing, but that number actually jumped sharply from 2017 to 2018, reaching almost 30%. And now you're probably wondering what kind of street food foreigners go crazy for. So I traveled to the most popular spots, I'm sure you know, Myeongdong. And of course, a Korean rice cake, tteokbokki, fried dumplings, and fish cake with warm, flavorful broth are classic Korean street food. And these are the dishes that locals, including myself, enjoy. For me, it's, to be honest, my go-to comfort food.
Yeah, it's nice.
Yeah, and even though tteokbokki is normally spicy, foreigners seem to really enjoy that unique chewiness and that hint of spiciness.
Great food. It's so simple. It's very clean and very tasty. A bit spicy, but really great. Dumplings, beef barbecue, and other things that I don't know how to name because I just bought them because I like them.
Okay, so she seems to like the tteokbokki then, as well as some of the mandu, the dumplings.
Right, that she can't name.
Yeah, it's funny because many foreigners who come here are often surprised by the spiciness of the food. As a general rule of thumb, perhaps if you pick the dark red tteokbokki, that's going to be generally more spicy than the lighter one. But I noticed that Korean street food has really broadened its scope because, to be honest, a few years back I did tend to find it a bit samey. You know, there wasn't that much to choose from. It was all kind of the same thing. But now you can get a bit of everything you want, right?
Exactly. So from traditional to modern, Korean street food seems to satisfy all taste buds. And of course, it's not too hard to find traditional Korean street foods, including Korean pancakes known as buchimge and jeon. And while I was waiting in line to get some jeon, I bumped into another jeon lover from Spain.
It's really good. I love seafood, so I really like it. It's one of my favorite Korean foods. I love japchae, yeah, and then Korean barbecue. It's my favorite three things. I think it's so different to my food, to Spanish food. Yeah, so everyone comes here for shopping and for food. My friend was coming for shopping, I was coming for food. Yeah.
And of course, Korean fried chicken, 닭강정, is another must-have snack. A bite-sized boneless chicken with Korean sweet and spicy sauce has such a flavorful crunch like no other chicken. And the crispy chicken and juicy meat sums up Korean-style fried chicken. Korean hot dogs are another beloved street snack for locals and foreigners alike. They are similar to American-style corn dogs, except the sausage is completely inside a fried batter. It's coated with sugar and full of cheese, and you can make it even better with your favorite sauce like ketchup and mustard.
Yeah, I'm a little bit baffled why Korean people like the sugar those hot
Who
dogs.
doesn't like sugar?
Well, I like sugar, but
Yeah?
not on a sausage-based
Oh, come
snack.
on.
But
Have you tried it?
of course.
Okay,
But
and-
I always ask for them to leave the sugar off. And but yeah, those are tasty snacks for sure. Don't let me put you off having sugar on it. But now let's talk about another important point, which we all want to talk about, which is the price. We all know that street food is generally cheap anywhere you go in the world, but especially so here in South Korea. You can fill your stomach pretty nicely for a few dollars. So how much should visitors from overseas, perhaps they're watching now, how much should they expect to shell out if they go to one of these food stalls?
So, like you say, Korean street food dishes are pretty affordable, even for those who are on tight budgets. So prices range from 3,000 won, $3 to even $15. That's 15,000 won in Korean won.
So
but,
what kind of food are you paying $15 for on this
Oh, okay. So
Maybe we'll talk about that later.
yeah, I'll save it for later. How about I save it for later?
Okay.
Yeah, so even if you're short on cash after hitting the shops, don't you worry. Most options won't put too much of a dent in your wallet, considering many are very filling, like you said, perfect for a quick bite.
There's just a variety, and it's nice and quick and cheap and easy. That's about it.
We have nothing like this where we come from. We come from Sweden. Yeah, it was 5,000 per dish, which seems like reasonable. It seems fair, and I think it's affordable, and it's definitely worth it. If you're in Korea, you gotta come here.
But you can also be fancy if you like you mentioned. The most expensive, luxurious dish I was able to find was grilled lobster with cheese. How about that?
Sounds good.
I know. So after all the traditional Korean food, it was quite interesting to see foreigners enjoying lobster in the middle of the street. So lots of options for everyone, including vegetarians out there. But please be aware that you'll need to bring cash with you, as few, if any, street food stalls accept card payments. They rarely, if ever, have card processing machines on hand.
Yeah.
And as the sun goes down, street food becomes the perfect side dish to have with some beer and soju at these Korean street bars called 포장마차. So if you're looking for a cozy, chill atmosphere to enjoy some night culture here in South Korea, I recommend 종로 3가, which is also very accessible by subway.
So that's where you hang out then, is it?
This weekend I will.
Okay, well, good to hear. But it's really good that Korean food is continuing to develop. Street food is still cheap. Everyone can enjoy it. It genuinely is tasty if you find the right spots.
Oh, of course.
At least once you find your favorite place, you generally go back there again.
Lots of options.
Yeah. One tip I would have as a non-Korean person is it's best to have at least a little bit of Korean skills with you, because a lot of the time the vendors don't particularly speak that much English. You can always point, of course, but it's always easier to get your point across if you can at least speak a bit of Korean.
Right, and use your fingers.
Use your fingers and know what kind of food you're ordering, but generally it all is delicious. Dami, I'm feeling very, very hungry right now. Thank you
Me
for
too.
coming in and whetting my taste buds. I hope to see you again in the studio soon. Thank you.
Thank you for having me.